Hello and happy finally Friday from Radically Rational and radicallyrational.com. I'm going to do something today that I ought to do more frequently. I need to follow BB's advice and do this. Largely, I'm going to drive you to our blogs at radicallyrational.com because there's some good stuff there. But we'll tease a few things, I guess. Man, that didn't take long, did it? A deliberation of 3 hours that felt more like 3 minutes? You can't even watch an NFL game in 3 hours. Is there such a thing as convicted with extreme prejudice? Because that's the way they looked. I don't think that jury liked that lying, drug addict, murderer very much. Do you? By the way, I'm glad that's over. Here's a shameless tease. A scheduled Zoom virtual meeting presentation featuring a Federal Reserve Board governor had to be canceled yesterday when it was hijacked. You know, generally the Fed just raises your interest rate. You gotta go to the blog to find out what that's all about. Okay, I admit it. People binge watch stuff. I binge watch the combine. I can't help myself. So yesterday, we had the on-field workouts with the D linemen and the linebackers. Those big fellas were moving out. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. And the Georgia linebacker, Nolan Smith, 4.39, and this is a big fella. And it looked effortless, primarily because his running form is perfect. I just bet you that was a track dude back in the day. If we all thought that maybe the pro career and the draft status of Jalen Carter, you know, the guy that's been charged with drag racing and reckless driving and sparked a crash that killed 2 people, if you thought that was going to jeopardize his NFL career, as I did briefly, think again. It's all good. Amazing. If you go to the blog, you'll see another unusual thing. I did manage to sneak in an NBA reference, something I very seldom do, and maybe I'll do it again next week if I feel like it. All right. The best advice any of us can get is don't hit send. This was like an episode of The Office. If you're not familiar with what happened between the Baltimore Ravens general manager and a Baltimore Ravens receiver yesterday, you have to read this story. I couldn't tell you the whole thing right here if I wanted to, but I told you the whole thing on the blog. This may be my favorite story ever. You'll love it. Finally, did you see that Yankees pitcher in a spring training game strike out a dude in 20 seconds? Well, if you didn't see it, it's understandable. It only took 20 seconds. This pitch clock thing is a trip. I tried to tidy it up. The best advice I get, other than don't hit send, is do what your wife tells you to do. Happy wife, happy life. Happy weekend from Radically Rational.